Great-grandfather James McCartney was also most likely born in Ireland, but came to Liverpool to work as a house painter, making his home with wife Elizabeth in Everton, a working-class suburb of the city. Their son, Joseph, born in 1866, Paul's paternal grandfather, worked in the tobacco trade, tobacco being one of the city's major imports. He married a local girl named Florence Clegg and had 10 children, the fifth of whom was Paul's dad. Aside from Paul's parents, his extended Liverpool family, his relatives, what Paul would call the Rellies, have played a significant and ongoing part in his life, so it is worth becoming acquainted with his aunts and uncles. John McCartney was Joe and Flo McCartney's firstborn, known as Jack. Paul's Uncle Jack was a big, strong man, gassed in the First World War, with the result that after he came home to work as a rent collector for Liverpool Corporation, he spoke in a small, husky voice. You had to lean in close to hear what Jack was saying, and often he was telling a joke. The McCartneys were wits and raconteurs, deriving endless fun from gags, word games, and general silliness, all of which became apparent, for better or worse, when Paul turned to songwriting. McCartney family whimsy is in Maxwell Silverhammer and Rocky Raccoon, also Rupert and the Frog Song. There was a son after Jack who died in infancy. Then came Edith, Edie, who married ship's steward Will Stapleton, the black sheep of the family. Another daughter died in infancy, after which Paul's father James was born on the 7th of July 1902, known to all as Jim. He was followed by 3 girls, Florence, Flo, Annie and Jane, the latter known as Gin or Ginny, after her middle name Virginia. Ginny, who married carpenter Harry Harris, was Paul's favourite relative outside his immediate family, and close to her younger sister Mildred, Millie, after whom came the youngest Joe, known as Our Bloody Joe, a plumber who married Joan, who outlived them all. Looking back, Joan recalls a family that was very clannish, amiable, witty people who liked company. In appearance, the men were slim, smartly dressed, and moderately handsome. Paul's dad possessed delicate eyebrows, which arched quizzically over kindly eyes, giving him the inquiring, innocent expression Paul has inherited. The women were of a more robust build, and in many ways the dominant personalities. None more so than the redoubtable Auntie Gin, whom Paul name-checks in his 1976 song Let 'Em In. Ginny was up for anything. She was a wonderful, mad character, says Mike Robbins, who married into the family, becoming Paul's Uncle Mike, though he was actually a cousin. It's a hell of a family, full of fun. Music played a large part in family life. Grandad Joe played in brass bands and encouraged his children to take up music. Birthdays, Christmas and New Year were all excuses for family parties, which involved everybody having a drink and a sing-song around the piano, purchased from North End music stores, NEMS, owned by the Epstein family. And it was Jim McCartney's fingers on the keys. He taught himself piano by ear, presumably his left, being deaf in his right. He also played trumpet until his teeth gave out, as Paul always says. Jim became semi-professional during the First World War, forming a dance band, the Masked Melody Makers, later Jim Mack's Band, in which his older brother Jack played trombone. Other relatives joined the merriment, giving enthusiastic recitals of You've Gone and Stairway to Paradise at Merseyside dance halls. Jim made up tunes as well, though he was too modest to call himself a songwriter. There were other links to show business. Younger brother Joe Mack sang in a barbershop choir, and Jack had a friend at the Pavilion Theatre who would let the brothers backstage to watch artists such as Max Wall and Tommy Trinder perform. As a young man, Jim worked in the theatre briefly selling programmes and operating lights, while a little later on, Anne McCartney's daughter Bet took as her husband the aforementioned Mike Robbins, a small-time variety artiste whose every other...
To keep listening to this audiobook for free, click the link in the description. It will take you to a free Audible trial where you can listen to this and many other books for free for 30 days.